Alright, so in this video we're going to be taking a look at the very basics of modelling in Blender. So I'm going to go over all the basic tools and the things that you're going to be using a lot when you're modelling your own objects. So I've got a brand new project open here, and we've just got the default cube. Just for the sake of showing you it, I'm going to delete the cube and I'm going to add a cube back in again. So you know how to add the cube. If you haven't already watched the previous video I did on the basics of Blender, you'll want to check that out. So let's get started. So we've got the basic cube. To do any sort of editing to this cube, like to change the geometry, we need to go into edit mode, because at the moment we're in object mode. So to get into edit mode, you can just click the drop down and choose edit mode, or the quickest way is to press tab on your keyboard, and that gets us into edit mode. Now we can see all of the points and all of the edges and the faces and all that. So now if we look along the top, we've got vertex select, we've got edge select, and we've got face select. So we can select just a face, or we can select a single edge or a single vertex, like a corner. And then that means when we've got hold of one of these things, we can then manipulate that how we want with the other tools, like the move tool or rotate or scale or any of these other tools. So I'm going to undo this for now. So we'll start off with the faces. So I can just grab this top face, and then with these tools here I've got move, so I could move it up or across in any of these directions, or I could rotate, so I can rotate it that way, rotate it along any of these axes. We've got scale, so the big circle around the outside is like scale in all directions. So I could do it like that. We could make like a pyramid sort of shape, or we can scale just to the side like this. And then underneath we've got the full transform tool, but I never use that because that's got like rotate, scale and move together. But I think it's a bit messy, so it's easier to use these. Next off, I'll just show you that if we go into edge select mode, we can do the exact same. We can move a single edge, and we can also rotate a single edge, and we can scale. And then we've just got the vertex select here, and that's just exactly the same. You can just move single vertexes. And also you can select more than one face. So for example, I could select this one and this one by holding shift, and then I could move them together, which would move the whole cube. Or I could scale them, and then I could scale them out both ways at the same time. So next up, I want to show you the bevel, because the bevel gets used quite a lot. So bevel is going to be for the edges. So if I just select this edge like that, and then I go down to bevel, which is this, or you can press Ctrl and B. And while you're on the bevel, you can use the scroll wheel on your mouse to add more segments to make it more of a smooth bevel. And then when I'm finished, I just need to left click, and that's now locked in. So again, we could select more than one face, so I might want to, more than one edge. So I can select both of them, Ctrl B, and then I can bevel them both, and again, adjust the segments. We can also go on the face, select mode, and then bevel, and then we can bevel the whole face. So we could do something like that. Okay. And then the next thing that I want to show you is extrude. So all we need to do is select a face, and then we press E on the keyboard for extrude. And then we can bring that out, and that's made like a new face and these faces around it. So I could also do it from the side if I wanted. So we could also grab this one, E, this one, E, so we can easily extrude them out like that, and then we could just keep going and extrude as many as you want. You can even extrude these ones. Okay, And we can also extrude multiple faces at the same time. So I could select that one and select that one. But this time, if I press extrude, it's not going to work because the faces are pointing in opposite directions. So what I need to do is click face at the top and then extrude faces along normals. And now I can extrude them outwards or inwards if I wanted to go in. So I can select all of the faces by holding Alt on the keyboard and then just left clicking one of these edges and it'll go all around and select all four, and then I can go face, extrude faces along normals, and then I can extrude them all outwards in the right direction. So now we're getting sort of a perfume bottle shape. We can also extrude these faces, so again I could hold Alt and then left click to select all of them, extrude faces along normals, and then we could put them in a bit or out a bit. And the next thing that I want to show you is the inset faces. So we can select the face and then we can go to inset here, and then we can drag this, and then we're going to get like a smaller face, like the same shape but smaller face inside. And then at the bottom we've got some options. So we can inset it like this and then have the inside selected, or we can choose select outer and then that's going to give us the outside bit selected, which is useful for whatever the next move that you're going to do is. So I might want to select the inside bit, or I might want to select the outside bit, and then I could extrude. So it depends what my next move is. I might want to have this bit selected and then I can extrude that in, for example. We could also select all of the faces around here. We could choose inset, or we can just press I on the keyboard. And we can see we're getting a bit of a different result here, and this is because of these settings. At the moment, it's insetting them all as one shape, so what we need to do is choose individual, and then that'll treat each face as an individual shape. So now we can choose whether we want to select the inside or the outside, which is going to save us a lot of time instead of having to select all of these faces individually after. So I could select all of them, face, extrude faces along normals, and then I could drag them in a bit. If I go in too far, you can see that they're going to intersect with each other. So I'll maybe do something like that, and then I could go on the bevel, and I could bevel these faces. And I could go on the top, bevel this as well. I can hold Alt and select all them edges, and then I could bevel them as well. Maybe use my scroll wheel. So the next thing I want to show you is the loop cut. So the loop cut will sort of bisect a piece in half. So we can see how it's going to cut straight down the middle here, or down the middle of here. So now that we've put a cut like that, we could then select two of these and inset, and we can inset these individually. So then we've got these like smaller pieces to mess with. Then I could extrude these in. I'll select that face, I'll select that face, we'll get the bevel. And we can also change the segments down here. Do something like that. I think I'll tab out of edit mode so we can get a good look at it. And then what I'm going to do is right click and shade smooth, and then it looks hideous, so we need to go to the object data properties, go to normals and enable auto smooth. So we should be able to see the difference. That's flat and that's smooth. So I hope this has helped you to understand some of the basic tools in Blender. In the next videos we're going to actually be using these tools to create some specific things. So we might be doing like sci-fi crates and barrels, walls, floor, all sorts of different objects that we could use in our games. And then I'll show you how to load them into game engines like Unreal Engine and Unity. And we can also save these as still images and load them into Photoshop or whatever sort of image editor we want to use. So stay tuned for the next videos, and thanks a lot for watching.